people who got me started in the game was my grandpa and my dad. So I guess they get the credit for being my hero in the game. But as far as guys who I watched and wanted to emulate when I was growing up, which is kind of funny because they're both peers of mine now, but obviously Tiger with the majors that he won, Tiger and Phil, and then Adam Scott was my favorite player growing up. Just wanted to emulate his golf swing, to be honest with you, and I can't, but I try and get as close as I can.
When I grew up, was Tiger Woods was the heroes for me, and what nice when I was young to watching the tournament and see how he's strong in the head, and that was my very good inspiration for his game. He won everything, and every time when he played, he was close to win the tournament. That's pretty much amazing. And, when he was world #1, he was #1 with how many points, and it was nice to watch how he was good under the pressure. The key was the putting and how he play under the pressure. That's the two things I look and I take on his game.
Like all of the kids my age, grew up watching Tiger, watching YouTube videos of him playing, and obviously when I got into golf in 2005 and 6, he was at his peak. So just waking up, would just set my alarm at 12:30 at night just to watch him play on the PGA. Obviously, the broadcast back home in India was late night, and even though I had to go to school in the morning, I'd wake up and see him play. And just been following him for as long as I can remember, and he's been the greatest inspiration. The best part I love about Tiger is just the zone he gets into. Obviously, he's a great player, and there's no doubt about that. But again, there's this famous video which I saw of Jack Nicklaus, and he says the best thing about Tiger is there are better ball strikers than him, there are better putters than him, but can they hit the right shot when it matters? And that was the best thing about Tiger, that he could pull off the best shots when it totally mattered, and he could hold the putt when he had to. So that was the best part. That's what I want to be. I want to make the right putt at the right time, and just the feeling that you get after that is fantastic.
Tiger Woods. I read a book about him when I was young, and that really kind of inspired me to go out and practice and work hard, and it really helped me a lot. My dad passed away, and then that was when I was around 12, and from there, it was a rough patch for me. And then I read his book, and then everything kind of turned around for me and started working harder and kind of focused on golf instead of the other things, and it really got me working towards the right things. And lo and behold, I'm here playing with him this week, which is great. We've got pretty close over the last couple of years. Trading texts back and forth, calling each other. And we're playing practice rounds with each other now, and it's pretty neat to be able to play golf with someone that you've looked up to for so long, and call him a peer is pretty neat. You sit there watching him all this time, how much he dominated back in the day when in 2000, 2001, even all the way through that 2000 span. I watched him win the '97 Masters as a kid. So seeing all that and then being able to practice with him, play with him, and interact with him is pretty cool.
Tiger Woods would definitely be my golfing hero since the first time I picked up a golf club. So, he changed golf, for everyone around the world, and really put golf on the map. From 2000 to 2005, he was, he probably had the strongest mind out there, and it just shows you exactly, what confidence can do for your game. Peter Dawson had an interview with him in Dubai, and, just the way that he spoke about things, it was almost as if, he was very close to the point of, giving the game up, and it was quite emotional for me to watch it happen, and then to see him come back this season and show the world that he's not ready to lie down, and to follow up 2 top 10s in a row, and obviously didn't do as good as he would have liked in the Masters, but to make the cut after, I think, 5 years of not playing, it's really nice to see, and I really hope that he comes back, just as strong as he was back in the day. I think it would be, great for the game, and as people say, he's changed the game for us.
My golfing hero is Tiger Woods. I grew up watching him play. I think he's only about 7, 8 years older than me, but it was right when I was playing the game and watching him win his U.S. Amateurs and turn pro, and just the way he changed the game in so many different ways, and being kind of right on the heels of that it's been really interesting for me, and being able to play with him, being on team events with him, talking to him has just been, you're playing with an idol and a hero like that. The first time I played with him, it was the 03 U.S. Open in Chicago, Olympia Fields, and just going to the first tee on a practice round, I think on an early Wednesday morning when he played at 6 a.m., just watching him hit the ball and hearing the sound, the way he worked, and just talking to him, it was an out-of-body experience. It was just really fascinating and just so interesting, and just, it was like a dream come true being in that moment. He didn't limit himself to anyone's rules except his own. I mean, he'd set out big goals. I remember the Curtis Strange interview when Curtis was telling him, you're gonna have to change the way you think and the way you play. Top 10s are good, top 5s are good. You can't go out there and try to win every week. And Tiger was so, well, I wanna win. If I don't win, then I could have done better. And he just pushed himself. The way he played, he was just so unhinged, and he was himself out there. And we'd never seen anything like that, because we held every golfer to the same standard, and he was different, and he wanted to be different. He didn't want to be held to anyone's rules.
I pretty much had two, to be honest. I had Ernie, and then I had Tiger. Ernie's just a hero just because when I grew up playing golf, he was the main guy in South Africa. He was the South African legend, and there wasn't a lot about Ernie that you couldn't like. He was a big, tall guy, swinging in easy, and made it look effortless. But then you had the thing in Tiger where you could see that fire in his eye, and you can just see him, wanting it more than anybody else. So I had a little bit of both, and so I've been privileged to play with both of them. So I've been privileged to share a little bit of that with both of them.
Tiger and Phil. Growing up watching Tiger when he was winning every event by, it seemed like, double digits every time, and just that intimidation factor and that kind of grind that he had was something that everyone tries to get. And Phil Mickelson as well, with watching his kind of short game. He was the scrambler. It didn't matter if he was hitting the ball great or poorly that day. He was able to salvage it with his wedges and his putter. And those are two guys that I grew up trying to mimic different parts of their game to try to make my own game. I was really excited whenever I met when I met Tiger and Phil. Both of them were really great guys. You don't really get to see what kind of person they really are behind the camera and on the golf course. It's when you get them away from all the hustle and bustle, when you actually get to figure out what kind of guys they are. And both of them are great guys to be around, and just great people. And that's always great to be around. And it's always good to see someone who's very successful to be down to earth and easily to get along with.
In golf terms, the three guys I looked up to, obviously being in Tiger Woods' era, he was a big influence. Seeing the way he competed, seeing the way he worked hard. We all wanted to be like Tiger, especially the young kids. Then I looked up Greg Norman. I loved the way he carried himself on the golf course. He just had this walk about him, especially when he was playing well, that I'm going to win the day. It could be Thursday. You could tell he's going to get the job done this week. He just had this air about him and this self-belief that didn't matter how bad he was hitting it or what was going on or any challenges that the course threw at him, he was going to overcome. And then, Freddie Couples. I've always been a big fan of Freddie Couples. He's just, he just looks like he's out there like, 7-iron from 150. Who cares if the water is right next to the green? I'm just going to hit a shot over here. Just looks so comfortable. And then it had this, carefree attitude, and something that I'm trying to emulate more. And I'm trying to, sort of blend the Greg Norman and the Freddie Couples together. to have that intensity and that self-belief, but also have that carefree attitude that, you know, who cares if I hit in the water? Because you know what? I'm going to figure out what to do on the next shot.